Good afternoon. Nice to see you again. And just as a reminder, my name is Lara and I'm going to be your nutrition counselor today. So, how's everything been going with you lately?
Everything's good. That project is over.
It's over finally.
Yeah,
I was just going to ask
finally.
you, how has it been since the last time you came?
Yeah, I've been really relaxed. Really, like, chill.
So, no more projects,
No
no
more
more stress.
projects, yeah.
That's really good. I hope they went well.
They did, yeah.
So for today's session, I'm just going to give you like a brief summary of what we're going to do. And if you feel like you want to add anything to the session, feel free. So first off, remember the 24-hour diary you gave me last time?
Yes.
So I analyzed it and we're just going to review the results together. And then I'll take your opinion of what you think of the results. After that, we'll go into the goals that we set last time. And if you're ready to change, then we'll go through the intervention together. And yeah, that's it. Is there anything you'd like to add?
No.
Okay, so to start off with the food diary, so I have analyzed it with everything you gave me. And it's actually not that off of your recommended amount, which is great.
Good.
So your total calorie intake was 2,000 and your recommended, as I calculated, was almost 1,800. So you're not that off.
Wow.
Most importantly, your protein intake is like right above your recommended level, which is very important. We really care about the protein intake. And carbs and fat as well, you're within the recommended range, which is really good.
Cool.
So yeah, what I did was I just inputted all the foods you gave me and it generated all the calories and protein and fat intake. So how do you feel about the results?
I feel pretty good. Like,
Yeah?
I didn't expect them to be
That's great.
what they're supposed to be.
I remember you told me because this was like taken during your stressful period and like
Right.
all your projects and everything. So has anything changed recently?
I don't snack as much.
Oh, that's great to
Yeah.
hear.
I drink black coffee now too.
That's really
Yeah.
nice.
That's it.
So how do you feel about it now?
Pretty good. Pretty, like, on my way.
On the way to
Yeah.
your goals. That's really good to hear. Is there anything that like you'd like to ask me about the food diary? Any inquiries you have?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, that's really good. So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna go over the goals we have set last time. So I remember last time you told me like one of your goals was you wanted to reduce the unhealthy snacking, right? Because whenever you're bored or stressed, you tend to snack more. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you told me that your snacking has decreased much. What have you done about it?
I eat when I like plan to eat
Mhm.
and don't eat in between, or like I rarely eat in between. Like sometimes I'll get like a little snack, like a bag of chips, because
Mhm.
why not?
Cravings happen.
Right. But usually I'll like drink water in place of eating a snack.
Okay,
And,
that's
like-
good. Because I remember when I was reading your food diary, like your snack came in a time when you reported that you're not really hungry, which
Right.
was a 2, but then you were also happy about it because like maybe you were stressed or something. So now you're telling me you found a way to replace
Right.
these unhealthy eatings. That's really good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear about that. So at this point, on a scale of 1 to 10, how ready are you to change? 0 being the lowest and 10
Like
the
an
highest.
8.5.
That's
Yeah.
good. Why not lower than that?
I don't know. I feel the time is right.
It's right. Like
Yeah.
I'm done with the projects and I gotta go
Right.
now. Okay, that's really good. And again, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you in making this change?
Like a 7.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
I feel like whenever I try to change anything, I just get tired and like get bored of it. So it just happens and then it doesn't happen and then it happens and doesn't.
But it's
happen.
great the change you're doing right now. Like you already took your first initial
Right.
steps, and that's really good to hear. Okay, so since compared to last time, you're more ready to change now. Would you like to hear of the guidelines I have prepared or like the materials I have set up for you?
Sure.
Okay. So to begin with the snacking, I have prepared a brochure for you, which gives you options of different healthy snacks you can eat. So it doesn't necessarily have to be water, as you were saying right now. And it includes some tips of how to decrease your unhealthy snacking, because we can't just wait from meal to eat, like that's too long. So whenever you feel hungry, let's say between meal to meal, you can grab a snack and that would decrease your hunger for the next meal. And then on the next meal, you won't have to eat as much, right? So do you usually like trying other stuff?
Yeah, I'm pretty open to like new things.
Yeah, because as you told me last time, you like variety in food. That's good to hear. And I tried as much as I can to compile different types and flavors of food. And if there's anything else, like you want to ask me for more recipes, feel free to email me whenever you want. And that's all yours.
Actually, they look really good.
Yeah?
They look really fun.
And colorful. Oh, and I also remembered you like the sour cream chips, because last time you told me you love sour cream. So they're actually the rice crackers with the flavor of sour cream. So maybe you can top that up with like some cream cheese, because usually for breakfast you like cream cheese. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
You can be creative with it.
Yeah. No, I'll try those.
Yeah, that's great. And as you also told me, you want to organize your diet plan. Like you want me to give you a structure with your flexibility to choose food, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
So what I did was I calculated all your needs and I developed a meal plan for you, but you have all the freedom to choose whatever you want to eat. So as I told you, your calorie needs are almost 1,800 and your protein needs are around 66. You're already meeting your protein needs, which is great. So I divided them into different food groups, and as you see here, different food groups have different types of food. So we can start off with the starches. Starches are basically anything that's bread, rice, pasta, potato. So these are the different exchanges. So like here you have 9 exchanges of starches, and these are each one exchange. So you can mix and match whatever you want to make up to 9 per day. So for example, like let's say you told me you usually have a bagel of cream cheese for breakfast. So like half a bagel, one part of it is 1 exchange. So if you have both parts of it, that's 2 exchanges of starch.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's for the starches. We go off to the protein. Here, I don't know your needs. I felt they were much lower, and I'm really happy that you're already taking more than what you need with proteins. So also here, there are different types of protein. It can be animal-based, it can be plant-based. You told me last time, like let's say you don't like fish, but you can also eat.
And I don't eat meat.
Oh, you don't eat meat as well?
I do not eat meat, and I'm not very fond of fish.
Yeah, you told me last time you don't like fish, and we had that bond. But there are also so many vegetarian options with protein, because you told me also that you eat a veggie burger sometimes when you go out. So all of these are sources of protein. You can go for tofu, you can go for soy. These are all great sources of protein. Do you have any questions about that? Because I felt like you wanted maybe some more examples of plant-based protein sources.
Right. So what I was basing it off of, because like people always told me just eat more eggs or eat more like people told me green vegetables like spinach, but I'm not.
No,
I don't know how much that's true. Somebody told me, and I was like, that I was told it's not correct.
You're right, that is not correct. It's like really barely has any protein. But yeah, green vegetables like green peas and beans, they do have protein, so that can be a source. Also edamame, if you like edamame.
I don't think I know what that is.
They're like green beans, but they're not round. They're just like shape of a bean.
Right.
Yeah. These are also good sources of protein, and any other type of bean, honestly. So you can mix up any option you want. And you usually eat cheese?
Yeah, I'm trying not to, just because dairy is heavy sometimes.
Yeah,
like,
you
it
told
feels
me.
Heavy.
Yeah, dairy annoys your stomach.
Yeah, but I still eat so much cheese. I eat so much cheese.
Maybe you can try the lactose-free one if that's available at the
Yeah.
market.
They also have like vegan cheeses.
Yeah, they do.
They're
The
really
dairy-free
good.
ones.
Yeah,
You
they're
can
so
give it a
good.
try. Maybe that would disturb you less compared to the normal cheeses.
And do you think like vegan cheese does it just have the lactose taken out of it, or like does it still have
The vegan cheese, it's plant-based, so it's basically not made of any dairy product. Like it's
Right.
dairy-free completely.
Right.
So maybe also that would be a great option because it doesn't contain lactose.
But it still has protein. Like it has plant
Yeah,
protein,
yeah.
right?
It does, but the only difference is just it's dairy-free.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vegan.
Now we're off to fats. So fats, you have almost 9.5 exchanges, and honestly, you can get that very quickly. Like you might think this is a lot, but throughout the day, it can add up easily. So what do you think are good sources of fat?
I don't know. I've never thought. Well, like milk and like dairy products, right? Is good.
They
fat.
do contain fat. Depends on what type of
Right.
milk.
Avocados. I've
Yeah,
heard good
avocados, yes, contain the good fat.
The good fat.
As well as nuts like almonds, cashews, pistachios, walnuts. All the types of nuts are good sources of the good fat, as people say. And as well as different types of oils like olive oil, canola oil. Usually in your meals, you tend to get the oils because food is usually cooked in oil.
Great.
So it's usually hidden in the food. But as I compiled for you in the health snack options, like I also incorporated the nuts into your snack, so and that way you can also be getting the healthy fats. And for dairy, I know that you're not intolerant, but dairy annoys your stomach, but it's an excellent source of calcium and vitamin D. So if you would like to try the lactose-free, then that would be great. But if not, then you can combine different other foods, honestly.
Right.
Are you willing to try the lactose-free?
Yeah. I already like they have a Bourbon and Wolves as a vegan restaurant. I love vegan things. I just don't go vegan.
Yeah. Like example, you can also have soy milk.
Right.
Do you usually drink soy milk?
I actually had a latte with soy milk in it this morning.
Okay, that's good because the latte you reported in your food diary was whole milk.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And did it annoy you less?
Yeah. It did. It tasted different, but it was good different. It was fine.
Okay, that's great. That's a good step. So now you have another option of dairy that annoys you less. And since you don't usually consume the animal derived dairy, we usually say like go for the lower fat options because like they're healthier. The skimmed milk or the 1% milk, they're healthier than the whole milk. As well as yogurt. Does yogurt also annoy you as much?
Yes, but that does not stop me from eating it.
Also, you're a fan of yogurt too.
Yeah, I am.
Yogurt is also under the dairy food group, and you can combine it with, let's say, different types of fruit, or like you can have it as a snack. Do you know the Greek yogurts that have fruits already inside it? That is also a source of dairy. And here we have 2 exchanges that's recommended. If you feel like you're not meeting your dairy needs, we can always start off as 1 and then make it up to 2 if you feel like it annoys you or anything. Do you have any questions so far?
I do not.
And now to the colorful part,
Wow.
the fruits and vegetables. You told me last time you like having vegetables in your meal.
I do, weirdly.
How's that going for you now?
It's good. I like, being like vegetarian, I always like go for the things that have veggies in it, like vegetarian lasagna has or like eggplant. It's things like that just have vegetables in place
like meals
of
that incorporate so
Right.
much vegetables, you tend to eat more of them. That's correct.
Right.
Okay, that's really good. And do you usually consume fruits?
Not often. I like fruit juices, which are not at all the same.
No, but they're actually under the group of fruits. Like they fall under the food group of fruits.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So that's also a source of fruits, but the only difference is that fruit juice, the exchange of it is less. Like half a cup is one exchange, because you need multiple fruit numbers to make half a cup of juice. So that's why we always recommend to go for the whole fruit because it's higher in fiber. Yeah. And if you don't usually consume fruits, we can also work up like the number. So you can start off, let's say, with 1 and then go up to 2. You can reach up to 3, which is the recommended amount per day.
Cool.
How do you feel about that?
Do you think the season affects like whether or not you eat fruit? Because like I feel like I eat more fruit in the summer than I do in the winter. Do you think that's like a thing that happens to people?
Honestly, I get where your question is coming from. I honestly think that maybe the availability of fruits in different seasons, like you tend to prefer some fruits more than others, which makes you eat more fruits at seasons and at seasons not. Is that the way for you?
I think so. I just like I've never thought about it before, but I've like noticed that I eat more fruit in like the summer than I do the like fall, winter when it's colder.
What type of fruits do you usually like?
I usually like bananas and strawberries. Anything with raspberry. I like raspberry flavored things and things with raspberries in it, but I don't like plain raspberries.
Yeah.
I feel the same about blueberries. I like apples.
The apples are in season now.
They are.
Yeah.
I forgot they're fall.
But for you also like bananas as well. Bananas are also available almost all year long.
Right.
Berries, I feel the same way as you. I usually don't tend to eat them alone, and not in desserts as well. Like I'm not really a big fan of berries. But you can also have other fruits, like I know strawberry is a berry, but maybe you like that, or oranges. Yeah, like you can try and then see which one you favor more than others.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
I feel pretty good about it. Yeah.
And you're willing to try different types of fruit?
Absolutely.
That's great to hear. And as you see, the page is so colorful. This is what really gives color to our plate. Like the fruits and vegetables, the more colorful they are, the more rich in nutrients your plate is, because the different colors provide different vitamins and minerals. So we always try to recommend like keep half of your fruits with vegetables, like fill half of your fruits with vegetables, and that way it would reduce your hunger by the time you get to the proper meal. Yeah. So any questions about that?
I don't think so.
That's great. So as I told you, fruits, the recommended amount is 3 per day. If you feel like you can't reach up to a 3, do you think you can do 1 per day for now?
Most likely,
as a start.
Probably.
Yeah, we don't like setting big goals, because that way if you don't reach the 3, it's like, oh my god,
I didn't reach
it. Yeah. So yeah, if you feel comfortable starting off with 1, then that's a really good step. And vegetables, you can reach up to 5. They can be cooked, they can be raw, so you can eat them in any form you want. And all the types and the numbers are written on this paper.
Cool.
Do you have any questions at all about your structure?
What I don't know how to phrase it. Like what do the exchanges mean?
Okay,
like, what do you mean by that?
So here, as I told you at the beginning, I wrote like 1 exchange of fruit. So basically 1 small apple, you consider that to be as 1 exchange. So let's say you want to start off with 1 fruit per day and you have an apple the size of your hand, that's 1 exchange done. So you're done with your fruit need per day. The same goes with the vegetables, the same goes with protein. And I also sent you in our first email a portion size guide. That's easier because if you don't have a scale at home and you don't know how to weigh things, you can use your hand as a portion. It's the same PDF I sent you on the email, the first counseling session. So you can use that, like, if you don't know what a small apple is, consider that the size of your hand. Or like, if you don't eat beef or chicken or fish, but for example, this is the palm of your hand is almost 3 ounces of chicken or beef or fish. So you can use the hand portion as a guide for you.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you can use it as well for like nuts, because the size of your thumb. There are different examples of how you can use your hand to measure a portion size.
That's pretty cool. I never knew that.
If you have any questions, if you want to give it a try and you still have questions, I'm also available to help you.
Awesome.
That's great. So back to where your goals were, did this help you enough? Or do you think you want something additional to help you meet your goal?
I think like motivation wise, I'll like get there and I'll like start to get there.
Mm-hmm.
How cost effective is like the plan? Like how cost effective do you think for like someone like me
Mm-hmm.
is like the idea of this?
About the motivation part, I recall in the first counseling session is that you usually like to have the support of your friends around you. So maybe that can be a great source of motivation for you. What do you think about that? Recalling on what you said the first time.
Well, now like my social situation has changed slightly. So I'm friends with more vegans, like people who are like vegan and vegetarian. So like they already are like plant based and like where I want to head.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty supportive.
See, there you go. That's a source of motivation there, and I'm also here to help you.
Right.
And if you still feel like there's something that is getting in your way, feel free to let me know about it, and I will definitely help you.
Okay.
Is there anything that like, do you feel that there's an obstacle that you're not being able to overcome?
I think the only like the biggest obstacle with like just in general like my diet is like the time aspect of it, because like school happens and like work and then rehearsals.
I understand
it's, like,
that.
one after another.
But you told me last time that you usually, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't have breakfast, and then depending on when you're free, you have your lunch, and depending at night, like what time you finish classes and all that, you have your dinner. So maybe you can, if you find a similar time that you're free in every day and you can have your meal then, or what do you think you can do about it that's best?
I don't really know, because like every day my day changes. Like some days I'll get up at like 7:30 for an 8 a.m. class, and then not have time until like 4 o'clock. Like my day doesn't stop until like 4 o'clock, and even then like sometimes I'll have to work after, so it doesn't end until like 9:30. So I'll like snack or like pick up little things here and there, or like Grubhub things that aren't necessarily healthy because most of them are fast food. And then other days it's like my day starts at like noon, so I have time in the morning to do things. So it's like different every day.
I understand your like frustration because every single day is a different schedule. What do you feel like you're willing to do about it?
I don't know. I do not have a plan. I don't have an answer.
Would you like to listen to some suggestions maybe I'd have? Maybe that would help you have some ideas?
Yeah.
We talked about healthy snack options, and maybe during the days where you don't have time between 8, which is your first class, and like let's say 4, maybe you can prepare one of these healthy snacks and like eat it midway between this time. So by the time you get to lunch, you're not that hungry. And the same goes between lunch and dinner. And on the days where you're able to have breakfast, usually whenever you have breakfast, you won't tend to get that much hungry. So you can also prepare a light snack in between, but if on these days, let's say you're able to have lunch at 1 or 2, then you can have your meal a bit earlier on that day.
Right.
So what do you think about that?
Oh, that would probably work.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You can give it a try maybe for a day or 2 and then see how it goes with you. Is that
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great.
That sounds good.
It takes time, like it's just baby steps. We
Right.
can't jump right to the goal. So everything is just like trial and error and see what works best for you.
Right.
So how do you feel about everything?
I feel good.
Yeah,
I feel
ready
like,
to
yeah.
change?
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions or concerns I can help you with?
I don't think I do.
Are you sure? I
Well,
want to try to help you as much as I can.
I didn't get out of breath running up the stairs.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, since you have no questions about these three, I also remember you were telling me it wasn't a goal for you, but you were looking forward to losing weight because it makes you feel lighter. Do I remember correctly?
Yeah.
And do you think that now that you have decreased your snacking, do you think that is still a concern for you?
Not as much. I've
Mhm.
also been working out a lot more. Like I do like a dance event every
Mhm.
Wednesday. I do drag. So like I do like a dance event every
That's
Wednesday,
amazing
and I
to
always
hear.
like so like I'm always exercising and always doing something, and then we have like rehearsals
Mhm.
for like theater. So I exercise
That's
pretty regularly
excellent.
now and don't snack as much, so I'm like pretty like on my way.
That's really good. I'm very proud of what I'm hearing right now.
Thank you.
And also, you wanted physical activity, like it
Right.
was a form of a stress relief for you. And you said that you weren't finding the time earlier
Right.
when you had all these projects. So that has improved
Yes.
based on what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So that's really good. So just the last point to touch on for today is your fluid intake. You reported in your 24-hour diary that you drink only 5 fluid ounces of water per day.
About that.
Yeah, which is generally low. Although you get your fluids from your lattes and from food, and fruits and vegetables also contain water. Do you feel like it's normal to drink this much water? Is it a normal thing for you?
Not usually. I have a 32-ounce water bottle
Mhm.
that I usually try to drink all of
Mhm.
like a couple times a day.
Mhm.
But it doesn't always happen. Sometimes I forget that I have it.
Mhm.
So I just don't.
So
So
you
it's
have
like-
a 32 fluid ounce bottle.
Yeah.
And how many do you think you can finish?
2 throughout the day if I'm
That's
like
great. That's a great
thirsty.
initial step. We usually recommend 8 to 10 cups per day.
Mhm.
And now that you're exercising and doing physical activity, we tend to go a bit more above the level. But whenever you're comfortable to try increasing a bit by bit, then that would be excellent because you're already getting some fluids from
Right.
other sources. It's not only on water. Yeah. Do you have any questions?
I don't think I do.
How confident do you feel right now?
I feel pretty confident.
Better than initially?
Initially, like the last time we met.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
And did all my recommendations help you, or do you feel like you still need something more?
No, I think they're pretty good ideas.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, and I think they're like easy enough to follow, where I can like go into it.
Mm-hmm. And just before I forget, you asked me how cost effective this is.
Yes.
I just rang a bell right now. Basically, what I have handed you is just simple things you can do. Like, they don't even require cooking or anything. It's just combining the different food groups into one meal or one snack, and that way you'd be getting all food groups in one meal. So you don't have to go overboard and purchase everything yourself because you told me you eat in the cafeteria,
Right.
right?
Right.
And if they have all the different options from each food group, then when you compile it onto a plate within the recommended amount, then you're not buying anything, or you're not spending more to follow this diet. Yeah,
Sounds pretty good.
that's great.
Yeah.
So what we tackled in this session is we revised the goals that you wanted to do, and we reviewed different the educational materials, and yeah, that was it for today. Do you have any concerns or anything additional you want to talk about?
I do not.
That's great. So hopefully I'll see you next time around maybe 2 to 3 weeks to see how things are going with you.
Yeah.
Yep. And thank you so much for your participation in the educational session. And I'm sorry if it was tight on your schedule
It's
or
okay.
anything. So thank
Completely
you so
okay.
much about that, and I really hope to see you soon.